What is up, you guys? I'm Charmx, and today I'm going to be reacting to how the universe is way bigger than you think by real life lore. Now, I know the universe is pretty big. I mean, I'm aware that it's pretty big. But as far as to how big it is, I don't know. But with that being said, the original link's in the description. Make sure you guys go subscribe to real life lore. Without any further ado, let's begin.
This is Earth. You live here on this planet somewhere, and everything that you've ever known is located right here. But just how small exactly is Earth when compared to the scale of the entire universe? Let's start by zooming out to where we can see our nearest cosmic neighbor, the Moon. You may think that the Moon is very close to Earth since it dominates our night.
I mean, it's close in relativity, I guess, but doesn't it take, I thought I heard that it takes like 2 days to get there or something.
It's skies, but in reality the Moon isn't this close to our planet, it's actually about this far away. 384,400 kilometers away from you right now.
What? Oh, wow. I did not know that. 238,000 miles. How do you travel that fast in 2 days? That doesn't make any sense.
On average, you could fit 30 entire Earths in between this distance.
How long does it take to get there?
If you're able to drive a car at a constant 100 kilometers per hour speed, it would take you about 160 days to drive the entire distance.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
12 humans have actually set foot here, representing the furthest away that any individual human has ever been away from the Earth. This is what the Earth would look like from there if you were standing there with them. And if you wanted to communicate with somebody back at home, it would take a message about 2.5 seconds to travel between you and them, since that's how fast the speed.
How long does it take to get to the moon then? Because I thought I heard that it takes 2 days to get to the moon. But if you're 283 or 38, I don't know which one of the two, 1,000 miles away, I mean, you can't travel that fast in 2 days. Unless, I don't know how, you'd have to be going so freaking fast.
Speed of light can travel at. This is a photo that was taken on Mars, and that tiny dot that you see there is Earth as seen from the Martian surface. On average, Mars is an incredible 225 million kilometers away from Earth. That means that whenever humanity finally gets around to landing a human on the planet, that person will be 986 times further away from Earth than the astronauts who landed on the Moon were. In addition, the time delay for sending a message from Mars back to Earth
It'll take like an hour or something.
Isn't just 2.5 seconds, it's actually more like 20 minutes each direction, which would render instant communication in the event of an emergency impossible.
20 minutes. An emergency would happen and you'd probably, you know, be by the time a message gets to Earth.
When we zoom out even further away, we can find the Voyager 1 space probe, which is the furthest away man-made object from Earth. It is...
Wait, they didn't even cover how long it takes to get to the moon. I'm actually curious now because I thought it took 2 days, but you have to be going really fast to do that.
It's currently located 138 AUs from the Earth. AU meaning astronomical unit, which is the distance between the Earth and the Sun, which means that Voyager 1 is 138 times further away from us than the Sun is. At some point on its long voyage, Voyager 1 turned its camera around and took this photograph. It may not look like much at first, but in my opinion, this is the greatest single photograph.
Is that the Earth right here?
Ever taken in all of human history. This tiny, pale blue dot is Earth. Voyager 1 is currently traveling at 17 kilometers every single second, but even at that
11 miles a second? If you're going that fast, how long would it take to get to friggin' the moon then? Because 11 miles a second is pretty friggin' fast.
That speed, it won't break out of the reach of our solar system for another 30,000 years.
What?
Once we go beyond the solar system, we arrive in our interstellar neighborhood. The star Proxima Centauri here is the closest other star to us other than our sun, but it's still 4.24 light years away from us. To put that into perspective, it would still take Voyager 1 over 70,000 years to reach it.
70,000 years? Wow.
In other words, if you drove your car at 100 kilometers an hour like in our previous example to the moon, it would take over 6 times longer than the entire age of the universe is just to finally get there, and it wouldn't even exist still when you
Sounds like one heck of a road trip.
arrived. When we zoom out even further, we can see the entire Milky Way galaxy, inside of which Earth is located right here. The entire galaxy spans over 100,000 light years from end to end. There are over 100 billion stars and over 100 billion planets inside of our galaxy.
That's freaking nuts. It really is.
But you have never seen the full glory of the galaxy at night, because 99% of the stars that you can see with the naked eye are limited to this small, tiny region right here. But even
that's all the stars you can see in the night sky, that's right here. You don't see any of this.
This massive galaxy is nothing compared to the rest of what's out there. Zooming out even further, and we arrive at the local group of galaxies, a collection of 54 different galaxies that is about 10 million light years across. But zooming out even further, and we can see the Virgo supercluster. There are at least 100 other groups of galaxies just like our own local group inside of here, and the distance from one side to the other is a mind-numbing 110 million light years.
It's so friggin' big that it's basically lost its big effect on me. Like I don't know if that makes sense. Like it's lost its awe because because of how big it is. That I'm just like, yeah, it's friggin' massive. What do you want? It's friggin' massive.
But even the massive Virgo supercluster is nothing but a quiet and tiny lobe of the Great Laniakea supercluster.
Wait, so this is a whole bunch of different it's a whole bunch of different superclusters?
Did you just stroke out there? Calm down now.
Oh my goodness.
Enormous structure that is home to our galaxy as well as 100,000 other galaxies. The distance from one side to the other is 520 million light years, but from even there we can zoom out all the way to the entire observable universe and see that even the titanic Laniakea supercluster is just a tiny and insignificant part of everything. This is the
What are the other ones? Are these all superclusters too or something?
The observable universe, and it contains everything that we know of. It is home to at least 2 trillion different and individual galaxies, which together contain more stars than there are grains of sand on the entire Earth. The distance from Earth to any side of the observable universe is 46.5 billion light years, which means that the entire width is 93 billion light years across.
Don't tell me there's more. Don't tell me there's more. No, this is the observable universe.
What's perhaps even more interesting, however, is what actually lies beyond the observable universe. And it's entirely possible that the rest of the universe outside of it is vastly larger and more fantastic than we can possibly ever imagine.
Yeah, because what we've seen so far hasn't been fantastic or crazy at all.
We simply don't know what else is out there, because the light from these incredibly distant places has not yet had enough time in the universe's history to reach us yet back on Earth. And the light from some places may never reach us at all. Because some parts of space very far away from Earth are expanding away from us faster than the speed of light, that means that the
light will never catch up.
Light from these places will never, in an infinite amount of time, reach Earth. We are all so unbelievably small, but you shouldn't worry, because all that means is that there is so much left out there for us to discover together.
That was friggin' nuts. And it did kind of lose its effect on me because of how big it is. It kind of lost its awe factor after it gets to a certain point. You're just like, you know, you can't really get any more awe. You can't get any more mind blown, right? If that makes sense. So I guess I hit that point because of how freaking big it is. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I like reacting to these kind of videos because it's kind of like going back to school. And, you know, I wasn't the biggest fan of school, but nonetheless, I do like learning new things. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share with a friend. If you know, subscribe to your other family. Also, make sure you guys go subscribe to Real Life Lore. That link's in the description. I'll see you guys next time. Boop!